look at you and it's easy to see. You are
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this channel. In this channel, we discuss about personal development, finance, and investments. My name is Gishure Irungu. Now, a story is told about some 10 virgins who went to a certain banquet, and 5 of them are referred to as wise, and 5 of them were referred to as foolish. And the reason for this is because the 5 foolish ones never had the opportunity, or they never thought about budgeting for their own oil. You find this story in Matthew chapter 25 following there. It's a very interesting story because it talks about budgeting and how budgeting can affect or can make you not achieve the goals that you have set, or let's say lack of budgeting can make you not achieve the goals that you have set or what you want to achieve in life. So today I just want to talk about some 5 things, common mistakes, some 5 common mistakes that I think we make, I'm included in this, we make when we are budgeting for our families. And then in between the month, we find ourselves looking for the ones who did budget well, asking them to give us or to save us with some money of which they had budgeted, their savings. It's a pretty interesting thing that like the 5 virgins had to go back to the other 5 who had budgeted for the oil to try and have them get some oil. Is indeed the same thing that we do every day. We fail to budget our monthly incomes, and yet in the middle of the month we are busy trying to borrow from the ones who budgeted. So I know most of us do the budgeting, but there are some 5 common mistakes that you usually make when you're budgeting, and especially so if you have a family. Thank you very much for being in this channel. I just want to urge you to subscribe, like and share this video and my other videos that you may find in my channel. Thank you very much. Let's go straight to it. Number 1 is underestimating expenses. This is a very common mistake. We underestimate the true costs of the expenses that we usually have in a month. So to avoid this, you need to thoroughly review your past spending patterns and consider all the regular and the most important irregular expenses that sometimes just appear. When I'm talking about irregular expenses, we could be talking about things like medical bills, car maintenance, school fees, things that we don't think every day about. They just come up. There's a barrier somewhere, there is something that is happening. Those are the irregular expenses. So you have the regular expenses, the number one, the food, the rent and all that, and then you have the other irregular expenses. So when you're budgeting, do not underestimate the power of the irregular expenses. Sometimes they can really throw you off when you're doing your budgeting. Number 2 is failing to track your expenses or your spending. Let me call it spending. Failing to track your spending. So without tracking expenses, it is challenging to create, it's very challenging to create an accurate budget. Families may neglect to keep detailed records or update their, detailed records of what the expenses they are doing. Even including your children, they may make demands that you may find you had not budgeted for, and you don't track, yet those demands keep coming back. So you need to keep track of that. So I urge us to, I think the best thing would be to have like an Excel sheet somewhere where you keep all your expenses per month. Every coin you spend, put it down there as an expense, and then you compare that in the next like 6 months or 3 months, and then you find you'll be able to create you'll be able to track your expenses. If you are going out for dinner with your wife or with your children, put it there. Do not assume it. Put it there, and then you'll see how much you spend on it. So make a habit of tracking all your expenses, including even the very small purchases, and this will help you to maintain the track of your budget that to maintain track of your budget that as you had intended it at the beginning of the month. Number 3 is neglecting savings and emergencies. We need to put money aside for our savings. At least you should save at least 20% of your income, total income, And when I say savings, I mean you put money aside. In fact, invest in money market or in something like that will make the money grow. So make sure that you are doing that, and also put the money aside for emergencies, things that they were not envisioned, like hospital bills and all those kind of things. And if you are doing a big project, it is important to put money aside for that. For example, if you are doing buildings, or you want to do a building, or you want to buy a car in future, put money aside for that. Budget for it. Then number 4 mistake that we also make is not involving all the family members. It is interesting that sometimes we don't even involve our children, yet they have needs, because they will come to you on 15th of every month and tell you, Daddy, I need a trouser, I need this, I need 1, 2, 3. So it is important for you to sit down with your children and tell them, we usually budget in this house, and when we budget, you have to think about the things that you want bought, so that we put them in the budget. Anything that is not in the budget goes to the next month. That way you can be able to keep track of your budget and your finances, how they are going. My friend, involve each and every member of your family. Involve your wife, involve your husband, involve your children. In fact, involve even your house helps. Let them, okay, not too much so, but at least let them have them tell you what they would require for them to do their work better, so that you budget it. Or even your house, the shamba boy and all that. Do that. The other thing that we do is that we also make budgets that are very, they are very strict. They're not flexible in any way. Yet life is full of ups and downs, and life is full of surprises. So let our budgets, let's make our budgets a bit flexible, and put something aside for unexpected events. They need to be flexible. So rigid budgets can cause a lot of stress, and also that means that you also need to be a bit flexible yourself as a person. Be ready for unexpected events in your life, and they will always come. Someone will die, someone will fall sick, someone will tell you they have a wedding, someone will tell you they have a graduation which you need to contribute. And these are the things that you need to be flexible with your budget, and depending on who it is, there are people who, of course, you cannot tell them to wait for next month. Thank you so much. And avoiding these mistakes can help us make more accurate and effective family budgets, and we will be able to track our expenses, and with that we can even be able to save and invest very well, so that our money can grow into something bigger when we keep building our wealth. Otherwise, thank you very much for being in this channel and for watching me to the end. I hope that this will be of value to you. Otherwise, thank you. God bless you so much. And my name is Geshure Irungu. See you in my next video. Adios. Bye.
I got your number, won't you pick up the phone? Don't leave me hanging.